You'll be able to catch up, but try to listen when you can. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I don't want you to miss it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're live now. Chapter 10, Lakshmana's anger. So what's happened so far? Kaikeyi has told Rama. Rama has gone and announced to his mom what's happening. And his mother is crying uncontrollably, and everyone's unhappy. Slowly, everyone's getting to know what's happening. Everyone was so excited about what's going to happen in the day, the coronation. And nobody, they did not announce, but slowly the word is spreading. And there is a lot of people crying and a lot of unhappiness and anger in the air. So far, Rama has been very, very calm and composed through this entire time. So now Lakshmana has not said anything till now. He's just quietly following Rama wherever Rama is going, to his mom's palace and everything. Wherever Rama is going, he's been like, he's got so much anger, but we have not looked at what he is saying and what he's going through explicitly. That's what this chapter 10 is going to uh, tell us about. So it's Lakshmana's anger. Lakshmana could bear it no longer. He had been standing near Rama listening to the words of the heartbroken queen, which is Kaushalya. He now intervened and said, Mother, I do not like this at all. I do not see why Rama should give up all this glory because a woman's whim has dictated the terms. Our revered father is now old and senility has set in, no doubt. His mind is not his own, and blinded by his love for a woman, the king has forgotten what dharma is as far as the ruling of the kingdom is concerned. He has lost the power to discriminate between the good of the country and the course which will be harmful. A king should remember what is good for his country and what is not, and he should have the acumen to consider these impartially and come to a quick decision. Our king has lost that power, so much so he has granted this woman everything she has asked for. I do not see any reason for the banishment of Rama from the country and for the command that he should live in the Dandaka. Rama, the sinless one, cannot be condemned to such a punishment without reason. The king is so shameless that he has become Adharmi because of this woman. I'm going to kill my father. Even an enemy of Rama, an enemy who has been hurt by Rama's arrow and is dying, even he will not impute any sin to Rama. My brother has never once swerved even by a hair's breadth from the path of Dharma. He is firm in his convictions and nothing can move him to do anything wrong. He is like a god and such a son is being banished for no reason at all. The king who has lost sight of the difference between Dharma and Adharma, who is but a slave to his senses, has to be judged rightly. No one is prepared to accept his commands as righteous. Rama, there are three arthas, as you know. What are the arthas, Laya?
Dharma. I forgot like what they are, but I kind of remember the meaning.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Dharma,
Mm-hmm.
which is righteousness
Mm-hmm.
and prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the rest, but I know the meaning.
Yeah.
Love and pleasure,
Mm.
doing the right thing,
Mm.
and loyalty.
Okay, let me. Surya, yes.
Moksha, Kama, and Dharma.
I want you to tell always in the right order, okay? Arna, I don't know if you.
Dharma, Moksha.
Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Repeat after me. Dharma,
Dharma,
Artha,
Artha,
Kama,
Kama,
and Moksha.
and Moksha.
Repeat that two more times. Dharma,
Dharma, Artha,
Artha, Kama,
Kama.
Moksha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma means do the right path. Okay, doing your duties righteously. Artha is earning money, prosperity, gaining prosperity and abundance. Okay. Kama is gaining pleasure and love, enjoying pleasure and love, and moksha is getting spiritually enlightened. These are the four things of a human life that we need to go after. What are they? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Okay. So these four completes a human life. Can animals get spiritually enlightened? Only human beings. We are so special. Only our body is designed so that we can we can go to the same consciousness as our creator, God itself. Okay. So that's why moksha is our ultimate goal in life. And the path to go moksha is through dharma. See, you are all learning now, all who was here and who was going to be listening and watching this later, you're learning this, right? So learning as a student and learning how to, you're going to school and learning and learning some skills and knowledge so that you can be a useful citizen in the world, in your country, where you are performing your duties, and in exchange, what are you getting? Money. You're becoming prosperous, right? You become prosperous, so you have a house, you have a car, you have all the good clothes, you have all the things money can buy. So money can buy you pleasure and fulfill your desires. Okay, you want to travel, you can travel. So you're learning and working, doing your duty for the society. Through that, you're making money, and with your money, you're enjoying the pleasures of the world. And then by satisfying all these three, you are able to, your last ultimate goal is to become fulfilled so that you are able to let go of all that and become one with God consciousness, moksha. Okay. If anyone is stuck in any of these three paths, right? If he becomes a other me, that means he's calling his father as other me, right? That means his father is not taking the right path. He is not following the right action. Okay. Right action, right words, right thoughts. All three together makes the right path. So that is other me. Or if anyone is going only after money at the expense of bringing pain to other people, that means that money is not with dharma, right? So that is not a good, that's not a good way of creating artha. Then they won't be able to really enjoy, because anyway, what they are doing unjustly will come back to them, right? So this whole path will be kind of broken. So that's what he's talking about. So I want you to, I want you to really understand that these are the four arthas he's talking about. And so let's continue. So he's saying that my brother has never once worked. Okay. The king has lost sight of the difference between dharma and adharma. Who is but a slave to his senses has to be judged rightly. No one is prepared to accept his commands as righteous. Rama, there are three arthas, as you know. Treading the right path is called Shuklartha, the path which has a slight admixture of adharma, but is by and large right, is named Chapalartha. So there's more information under these four arthas. So that's what he's talking about. And the path which is entirely unrighteous is called Krishnartha. Our king belongs to the second category. Before adharma runs rampant in the country because of this king, please take up the reins of the kingdom in your hands. Just command me, the kingdom is your birthright, and I will stand by your side, bow in hand. Tell me if there is anyone who has the courage to oppose me. If it is necessary, I'll kill every one of the citizens of Ayodhya if they dare to side with the king. If there is even one single individual who sides with Bharata and is his well-wisher, I will destroy him and his clan. Rama, my brother, you're gentle and soft by nature, and you're being deceived because of it. If our father, influenced as he is by Kaikeyi, persists in this shameful behavior, he will have to be imprisoned. If he actively supports your enemy, he should then be killed without compunction. If a man is so bereft of his senses that he is unable to know the difference between dharma and adharma, if he chooses to be an adharmi and harm others, it is imperative that he should be punished. With what assurance has the king now dared to make a gift of this beautiful land to Kaikeyi? What prompted him to do so? He will not be able to resist the combined power of you and me. No one can have the courage to prefer Bharata to you and try to crown him, at least of all the king. There are several powers a king has. The first is Prabhu Shakti. That this is a power wielded by a man purely because he is a king and a good and righteous king. There is a second type which is known as Prabhava Shakti. This is a power of the king who is righteous by nature and who is assisted in ruling the kingdom by good and capable ministers. The third is Utsaha Shakti. This is trying to achieve something which is wrong in every way with the assurance born of arrogance. Tell me, Rama, which Shakti, which power has prompted the king to act thus? So, what are the three Shaktis? So he's talking about a king who righteously uses his power, and that is called Prabhu Shakti. Prabhu is like the king, yeah. And the second one is a person, a righteous king who is also helped by righteous ministers and people in the court. And that's called Prabhava Shakti. And the third is Utsava Shakti, where the king becomes arrogant that he is the king and he can do whatever he wants. Yeah. History has lots of such kings, and that's why their kingdom failed and fell apart. Yes, Laya.
I just want to share something.
Mm-hmm.
When we were learning about ancient China, that's how it was like a cycle. The empire was like, when they had a new emperor, like everyone was happy because he was doing the right thing. And then slowly, like the power started getting to the emperor's head. And then eventually all the citizens would throw the emperor off his throne and then appoint a new emperor, and that would just happen again and again. So that's pretty much like what you said.
Yeah, that's what they're explaining. So even if we look at, the current leaders also, we are doing a democracy, right? So where we vote for a leader, they come with the right policies and all that. But if the same person is elected again and again, they can become complacent, right? And that's when they don't do the right thing. And then what people do, they outcast him and they vote another person. So that's what Lakshmana is asking. What Shakti is this power is our king using? Mother, I swear by my sacred vow, by the truth which I have tried to follow, by what little punya I have earned by the deeds I have performed, that the only aim in my life is to please my beloved brother. I'm a slave and there is no place for anyone else but him in my heart. I'm his devotee and I will not allow any injustice to be done to my God. If Rama were to enter raging fire, you can sure that I will also be there, and that even before my brother enters it. I'm only waiting for my brother to think it over and command me. I will then wipe away your tears like the rising sun does the darkness of the night. You will see the deadliness of my arrows. Then I will kill the king along with Kaikeyi. He is old, has lost his reasoning power, and the only aim in his life seems to be to please Kaikeyi. He has now become the object of scorn as far as the entire world is concerned. Kaushalya, who has been drenched in tears and whose heart was heavy with sorrow, listened to the words spoken by Lakshmana. And she said, Rama, you have also heard all that child Lakshmana has been saying. If it is pleasing to you, you might proceed in the manner as per his wish. You shall not go to the forest, leaving me to the mercies of the younger women in the palace. You know what is right and what is not. Remain here and serve me. Am I not as dear to you as your father? Even as you obey your father, you should obey me. As I say that you shall not go to Dandaka, leaving me alone here in Ayodhya. My happiness, nay, my very life is bound up in you, and without you, life will have no meaning. I would prefer to eat grass and remain with you rather than live in a palace full of luxury. If, in spite of my entreaties, you desire to go away from me, I will this very moment remain seated on the darba grass and starve until death overtakes me. You will then be tainted by the sin of Matru Hatya, killing your mother. which sin the Lord of the rivers the sea had to suffer. Rama was silent all the while. He allowed Lakshmana to give vent to his anger, and he let his mother shed all the tears she had. She could weep no more, so exhausted was she. Rama was greatly distressed to go through all this pain. He could not bear to see anyone suffer without his sharing their pain, and now it was his mother and his brother who were unhappy. He was trying to think of words which would pacify her and at the same time let her be convinced that he was doing the right thing. He spoke in a soft, gentle, and persuasive voice. Mother, it is not possible for me to disobey the words which my father has spoken. I have neither the power nor the desire to do so. I prostrate before you, Mother, and assure you that I have made up my mind to go to the forest. You must bless me and send me. I need your blessings. Implicit obedience to one's father has been the law set down by the rishis, and all our ancestors have followed this rule. Think of Parashurama, mother. His father, the saintly Jamadagni, asked him to kill his mother Renuka, and the son obeyed his father because that is the only dharma to be followed. Please do not think that I am the first person to follow this path of obedience to the father. Many of my predecessors have done the same thing, and I'm only following in their footsteps. I've been taught early in my life that the son who obeys his father is sure of a place in heaven. The rules of Dharma taught by the great ones cannot be false. I believe in the Shastras and I will obey my father in everything. Rama then turned to Lakshmana and spoke to him. Rama, who was a great archer and was well versed in the art of talking to, and he had to convince Lakshmana that he was uttering words which were wrong. Lakshmana, he said, I know the love you have for me. It is a devotion which is unparalleled in the three worlds. I know your prowess too very well. I'm aware of your firmness, your determination to do what you decide to do, and your valor, which is unbearable to the enemy. My mother's grief is intense and it cannot be cured soon. It will last for a very long time. She speaks wild and incoherent words since she is unacquainted with the nuances of Dharma. A man who has his senses under control will take everything as it comes, whether it is good fortune or ill luck, with an equanimity which is the heritage of rishis. Such a man will say, it is the will of the heaven that this should happen, and accept anything which befalls him in a calm manner. But mother has not learnt that secret, and so she is suffering thus. But you, my Lakshmana, you're different. Along with me, you have sat at the feet of the Guru, and you too have learnt the rules of conduct. In this world, Lakshmana, Dharma is the ultimate goal. It is the observance of Dharma which will grant the other three Purusharthas, which is Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Dharma has been established in truth, and truth is the ultimate religion. A well read man should not break his word after he has promised to do something. When he is commanded by his father or mother or by his guru, he should keep to his words and not break it. I do not therefore wish to disobey what my father and Kaikeyi have asked me to do. Abandon these wrong thoughts. Lakshmana, it is not right. It is not dharma you should follow. It is not the dharma you should follow. It will seem as though you are trying to prove to the world that you are a great warrior. Do not give in to these feelings of wrath. It is wrong to be violent. Violence, I repeat, is wrong. You must listen to me and let me go to the forest. I have made up my mind to do so. He turned again to his mother and prostrated before her. Standing up, he said, Mother, permit me to go to the forest. Please recite the mantras which will bring me good fortune and which will keep evil spirits away from me. I will come back soon, Mother, after I have satisfied the conditions of my exile. I assure you that soon, very soon, you and I, with Lakshmana and Sita, will be reunited and we will live happily with Father as we have done all these years. Abandon this grief and prepare yourself to send me to the forest with your blessings. I'm doing only what is right, and you must help me to do so. Kaushalya saw that her son was firm in his resolve. His mind seemed to be calm and unruffled, and his face indicated it. It took her a while to speak. She said, Rama, you speak of Dharma, and that very Dharma says that a mother is sacred to a man as his father. Both are your gurus. And I command you not to go. I say that you shall stay by my side and serve me. Without you, Rama, life will lose all meaning. With you by my side, even if it just be an hour, I will be happy. I cannot live without you, Rama. Not all her tears would move Rama to swerve from his firm resolve, nor could Lakshmana's anger influence him. Again, he spoke to Lakshmana and said, I am aware of your valor, my Lakshmana. I know only too well how much you love me. You have known me all these years, and still, instead of trying to understand me, you're adding to my unhappiness, sorely tried as I am by my mother's tears. That's the end of chapter 10, Lakshmana's anger. And next chapter is chapter 11, Rama's firmness. We will start that tomorrow. Now let's discuss this chapter.
Wait, Auntie, I have a question.
Yes.
How many, like, you know how there's one part of the book and there's two? Are there two parts or they're free?
There are 5 parts. So the first part was Balakanda, where we learned how Rama was born until he goes to Dandaka forest to help Vishwamitra and all the places they visit, all that, till he gets married. So that was end of Bala. Bala means childhood, like growing stage. Okay. So that was part 1, Balakanda. Right now, Ayodhya Kanda, just after his marriage, what is happening, him being king deciding to coronate him, and then whatever is happening now, him going to the Dandaka forest, all that will come till he goes to the forest is part 2. So like that, next is Aranya Kanda, everything that happens in the forest. After that, when Sita gets abducted by Ravana, I don't know if you know the story loosely.
Yes, I do.
When he gets abducted, then they go in search and they meet the monkey, all the monkeys, right? That is Sundarakanda. Okay. And then the last, when the war happens, that is Yuddha Kanda. Yuddha means war. And all the chapters, Yuddha Kanda is the last part. So right now we are in part 2, which is Ayodhya Kanda, everything that's happening in Ayodhya. There's few chapters. We are on chapter 10 today, right? We have in part 2, there are 42 chapters. So every the next part has 28 chapters. So every part has, this is very long. We have up to 42 chapters. And then the last one, Yuddha Kanda, has 50 chapters. Everything else has about 20 chapters, 17 chapters, like that. So we are on page 147. And okay, what thoughts today? Share your thoughts. What would you do if you were in Rama's place? One person tell me. And what would you do if you were in, okay, Laya, tell me Kaushalya's predicament, if you were in Kaushalya's shoes. And Arna, tell me Lakshmana's shoes. Or you can choose if you want, you can choose a character you want to feel into and see what you would do also. And also your thoughts. So, okay. So, okay. You want to come closer and talk?
I would probably, well, I wouldn't say exactly what he said because that was like really harsh. I wouldn't say I would kill my dad, but I would be like really angry or like more sad than angry, or I would ask to go with him. If I loved someone that much, then I would ask to go with him. Okay. Instead, like I don't, because I can't really imagine how that would be.
And yes,
I have-
Anna.
Yeah, so I also thought that I would like say that I would like kill my dad. I would like change my words and say like some nicer words and so more like respectful.
Mm, mm. Adya?
So my thoughts are that, well, if I was one of those people,
Kausalya, what would you do? Rama's mom. You were not there yesterday, no? Like, what would you do in just as Rama's mom's situation?
I would sometimes support him. Um,
Share whatever comes to your mind. What stood out in this chapter also you can say. You don't have to, whatever comes to your mind, share with us.
So like she would want to say, so she told me what she wanted to say, but she doesn't know how to say the right words. So she wanted to say like she would support his decision, but he would also like try to convince him why you want to do this and like why do you want to do this. And
Yes. Surya?
I have to
Sorry?
I'm a bit it's like a question.
Yeah.
How Kaikeyi, why did she choose like exactly 14 years? I understand it'll be like enough time for like Bharata to become king and everyone to accept him.
Hmm.
Why wouldn't she just choose a longer time? She didn't want Rama to ever get the throne.
Okay. Okay. Why do you think anyone else has an answer for that? Why 14?
That's what
Her maid, Mantara.
That's what Mantara told her, that 18 years would be enough to secure Bharata's position to be king, and that everyone would accept him and like love him the same. So 14, let's
14
say
years.
18.
14.
I meant 14. 14 years would be enough, and then when Rama came back, that like he wouldn't be able to do anything anyway, and he could just be like the prince instead of the king. Because like she thinks that Bharata would have already gained everyone's trust by then, and everyone would have accepted him to be king.
Anyone else wants to share? Any other thoughts?
Another one. I was also kind of not like surprised, but not understand how much like Lakshmana loves Rama.
How much Lakshmana loves
Because
Rama?
he's even willing to kill everyone in the city, his own father, just for Rama.
Yeah. That's beautiful, right? His love for his brother.
And also why he doesn't love his other brothers as much.
So they say that Rama and Lakshmana have been hanging out together from childhood, and Bharata and Shatrugna have been hanging out together since childhood. So they are more close because they've been hanging out together all the time. And yeah, okay. Are you all enjoying? Are you learning something from Ramayana?
yes.
What are you learning? Share.
I'm learning like different stories that I've like never learned before because I've learned the story, but I haven't learned it in detail, like every single thing that happened and why it happened.
Yes.
Like the virtues that a person needs.
Yeah. Awesome. So let's say our closing prayer today. Sit straight. Together, everyone together, okay? Let's chant Om. 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate Om Shanti Shanti. Good night. See you tomorrow. Bye.